a lot of conflict arise, not only in monasteries but even at home, because you don't practice these things. Firstly, whether you are in a monastery or at home, you should appreciate those people you stay with. Firstly, especially like in a family, if you have a spouse, then when you married the spouse, it was because you had a great appreciation for that spouse. But after many years of marriage, some people, they forget. They don't appreciate. They don't think like this. It is a gain for me, a great gain for me that I am living with such a companion. So sometimes I've seen with my own eyes that when a couple, when they are young, because of the physical attraction, they have a lot of love. But later, when they are old, in their 60s, some of them, then they start to have a lot of friction. I've even seen some couples, at the time when they need each other most, 60, 70, one cannot stand the other anymore and goes off. Partly because sometimes one of them, especially the woman, they tolerate the husband because of the children. The children are young, so they tolerate the husband, and the husband's ego is so big. I tolerate many years, but when they are in the 60s, then the wife doesn't need the husband anymore, and the children normally they will go towards the mother, and then at that time, if the man still has a big fat ego, then the wife will just back up and go off, and the children will follow the wife, and then the man is left all alone. I've seen this a few times. So you have to be careful to even at home to practice, like monks say, to appreciate your companion and to show loving kindness through body, speech and mind. And then not always want to have your way. Here he says, I should set aside what I wish to do and do what the others want to do. So don't always have things your way. Be considerate. In a monastery also, sometimes a lot of friction arises because some people, their ego very fat, and then speak very loudly instead of speaking gently. You just have to open your eyes and open your ears. There are some people very obvious to everybody, speak very loudly, very inconsiderate and all these things. So this is the way in our website now we have put, when you come to the monastery, harmony is very important. 1 or 2 years ago, during the Vasa, we had quite a number of ladies here, and they started to quarrel with each other, and even nearly came to blows. So we know who are the people who like to quarrel. After that, we don't allow them to come anymore. So in the same way, if you come to a monastery, you create problems. Next time, we know you won't get a chance to come here again. So this is the way to practice loving kindness to the body, speech and mind, and then to appreciate the companions who are with you, and don't be always wanting to do things your way. Do sometimes what other people want to do. And then Buddha said, good, Anuruddha, I hope you all abide diligent, ardent and resolute. Surely, venerable sir, we abide diligent, ardent and resolute. But Anuruddha, how do you abide thus? Venerable sir, as to that, whichever of us returns first from the village with alms food, prepares the seats, sets out the water for drinking and for washing, and puts the refuse bucket in its place. Whichever of us returns last eats any food left over, if he wishes. Otherwise he throws it away where there is no greenery, or drops it into water where there is no life. He puts away the seeds and the water for drinking and for washing. He puts away the refuse bucket after washing it, and he sweeps out the refectory. Whoever notices that the pots of water for drinking, washing, or the latrine are low and empty, takes care of them. If they are too heavy for him, he calls someone else by a signal of the hand, and they move it by joining hands. But because of this, they do not break out into speech. But every 5 days we sit together all night discussing the Dhamma. That is how we abide diligent, ardent and resolute. I'll stop here for a moment. So the Buddha is asking them, are they diligent? And they say yes. And the Buddha asks them to explain how they abide diligent. And then they say, when in the morning they go for Pindapata, and then they come back, whoever comes back first will prepare the seats for everybody else. Set out the water for drinking and for washing the feet. And put the refuse bucket in place. And then, of course, he will eat his food. And if there's leftover, sometimes the monk will leave the leftover there. Then whoever comes back later, if he wants, he can take the leftover food. Otherwise, he throws it away. But here it mentions he throws it where there is no greenery, or drops it into water where there is no light. Why? Because in the monk's precepts, it is stated that we should not throw food over plants and all that, because plants are the abodes of unseen beings, fairies reside in plants. So if you throw oily food on the plant, they get annoyed, dirtying their home. And then also if there's some water, pond or something with some life form, if you throw too oily food into the water, some of the life there, the fish or what, may die. But if they don't die, it's okay. But if they might die, then you should not. So whoever eats last, he puts away the seeds for drinking and for washing. Put away the refuse bucket, sweep out the eating place. And anytime they see when the water for drinking or washing is not enough, or the toilet, then they will fill it up. If it's too heavy, you signal somebody else to help, but they don't talk. They only talk once in 5 days when they sit down at night discussing the Dhamma the whole night. So you see these monks, they don't have the sloth and torpor. They can discuss Dhamma the whole night.